Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Invest. I hope you had a great weekend. So let us start another exciting week in cryptocurrencies. There has been a lot of price actions over the weekend. There are some news, so I want to go over those with you really quickly. And I also want to talk to you about a conspiracy called the Operation DragonSlayer. As many of you know, on this channel, I don't typically talk about conspiracy, but this one in particular has gained some momentum, and I just want you to kind of at least know what it is, have some knowledge about it, and then we can discuss further in the comment section below. So with that, let's get into it. But before I start, I do want to say that this is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice. So with that, let's do it. So I do want to start with Bitcoin. So congratulations to anyone who has been holding Bitcoin over the last few months. Bitcoin is basically at an all-time high once again at $9,513. Bitcoin has really an amazing run this year, starting at 12 months ago, back in November of 2016. Bitcoin was at $734, and now we are at $9,500. So quite an amazing run for Bitcoin. And if you want to take a look at who are currently trading Bitcoin, you can see that Bitfinex is currently leading the way at 10.38%, and then followed by Korean exchange THAM at 7.22%, and followed by DịCH, which is owned by Coinbase in the United States, and that is at 4.46%. So the Korean are typically leading the way in terms of percentages, but this time around it looks like Bitfinex is leading the way, but the Korean still have a pretty high volume, and that doesn't count other Korean exchanges such as Coin1, also at around 2%. And if you take a look here, the Koreans definitely pay a little more premium. They are doing an average of $9,800 per Bitcoin versus in DịCH we are at $95.95, and then with Bitfinex we are at $94.70. So a lot of people are wondering a lot of times why Korean exchanges price are a little harder, and that is because it is a little harder for Korean to move capital around to be able to buy Bitcoin and move them around. It's not as easy as it is say in a country like in the United States. So because of that, they do pay a small premium on Bitcoin. So if you take a look at the entire market, we are currently at 293 billions. So this particular sector, cryptocurrencies, has been growing quite a bit. So if you take a look at the last 12 months in terms of the total market capitalization, we started last year in November at about 13 billions, and we are now at an all-time high of 293 billion US dollar industry. That is not a small number by any measure. And Bitcoin dominance remain at 53.9%, which is, in my opinion, is pretty high. Consider the last few months. You know, back in the summer, in May and June, Bitcoin dominance fall all the way down to around low 40%. So Bitcoin definitely is leading the way currently. So if you take a look at the market cap without Bitcoin, so without counting Bitcoin, the market cap at 135 billions, and with Bitcoin we are at 293. So that's where they got the 53.9% dominance from. So besides Bitcoin growing, over the weekend Ethereum has gone up quite a bit too. It was as high as around 485. Now it's retraced back to 457, which I must say is still a really high number for Ethereum. As you know, Ethereum started the move about, I would say, 10 days ago. It's really, go past that 380s, and now it's sitting at 400 and beyond. So pretty good price. Bitcoin Cash been holding at 1600, and everything else seemed to be falling by a little bit. But a lot of this is pretty good news, because typically if you see Bitcoin go up a lot, typically Bitcoin does suck up some capital from other coins, but it doesn't seem like this is the case we are experiencing currently. So look like the whole sector is growing quite a bit. So something like EOS is up 32% again, and EOS already up quite a bit the last 30 days. You look at Cardano up 31% as well. So there's a lot of double-digit gainers. Stellar Lumen up 11%. So the whole market seems to be going pretty crazy at the moment. So it's really hard for you to lose money in cryptocurrencies. I would think if you invest the last 3 months, it's pretty hard to lose any kind of money in this kind of market. So let's take a look at as far as what is driving Bitcoin price currently. And to me, we didn't receive any big news over the weekend. We did receive a lot of news that caused a lot of excitement into the market. So starting with this article from Cointelegraph talking about the fact that as Bitcoin price going higher and higher, it's going to attract more and more investors. And talking about the fact that Coinbase gained another 100,000 users within the last 24 hours from the time of this article once again. And then of course, when the $9,000, when Bitcoin passes $9,000, there has been a lot of news coverage surrounding that, and it does seem like more and more mainstream investors at least heard about Bitcoin. Coinbase does add a lot of more users on its platform, and based on this article, Coinbase has now they have more users than Charles Schwab, which is a pretty big investment firm in the United States and across many countries around the world. I do want to say that even though Bitcoin does have more users than Charles Schwab, the average amount of trading volume and the average amount of capital that Charles Schwab have trading on a daily basis have definitely surpassed Coinbase at the moment. But I think it is just a matter of time before we're going to see that Coinbase really does take off, and it does process a lot more transactions in terms of dollars than Charles Schwab. So a lot of the driver behind the market currently is surrounding Bitcoin. I think we are definitely flirting with 10,000 at the moment. We're going to see 10,000 anytime now. And a lot of people are looking at 10,000 as maybe a sell wall where they're going to go ahead and unload their Bitcoin at 10,000. Some other people think that we're going to surpass 10,000, without even stopping for anything. And 10,000 is going to be the beginning of an exponential growth. Certainly a lot of people believe so. I do want to say that there is a conspiracy going on at the moment, and it's called the Operation DragonSlayer. And I'm certainly going to put this all the links here in the comment section below for you to look for yourself. But I can cover this really quickly about what this is about. Basically, this is a post coming out from 4chan, which in my opinion is not the best way to get the news. And this particular is a copy of that post on Reddit, Bitcoin Cash Reddit, I should say. So keep that in mind. So this person say that he is a member of the Chinese wealth community, and there is a big plan at play here. So first, there gonna be a lot of manipulation to push Bitcoin to $10,000, and when Bitcoin hit $10,000, they are go ahead and sell or dump all the Bitcoin and push it all the way down to sub 1,000 levels. And a part of that, they're gonna use the selling pressure on the market, and they also gonna have all the miners shipping their hashing power from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, would cause the difficulty level for Bitcoin to go up exponentially, and the block gonna take a lot longer to mine, and the whole network basically gonna stall. And also they're gonna create some FUD surrounding the whole Tethers and Bitfinex issue that we talk about in this channel quite a bit, that maybe Tether is not a legitimate operation. So they're going to use that as well to really drive the price action of Bitcoin down to sub 1,000. And then the next step they're going to do is they basically going to move a lot of capital into Bitcoin Cash and really pump that up. And the plan is to have Bitcoin Cash at the true Bitcoin. And that is the plan that they have in terms of the final steps to make Bitcoin Cash the true Bitcoin. And according to a lot of unknown sources, it's already started as of yesterday. So a lot of people say, well, go hand in hand with the whole Bitcoin price been surging. To me, I don't know about that. These are conspiracy. I don't know who the authors are. I don't know what the intention of these articles are or any of this are. You have to think about who would benefit most about this kind of post, right? So number one, it could be someone who really loves Bitcoin. So they're gonna create some FUD, some fear, uncertainty, and doubt to push the Bitcoin price down using fear tactic. And then when Bitcoin does go down in value, they're gonna buy a lot of Bitcoin at the bottom. So that's one scenario. The second scenario is written by someone who don't like Bitcoin, and they just want to create some FUD to drive down the Bitcoin price, and then that's the main goal of it. Or maybe just somebody think it's funny to write this article and look for people and see how they panic at they reading this post. So a lot of different theories out there. Again, you know, and this is also assuming that they can push Bitcoin price to sub 1,000 levels, which in my opinion gonna be somewhat not realistic in a way, because well, this is also assume that, as we know, it costs around $1,000 to mine one Bitcoin, depending on where you are in the world. Obviously depends heavily on your cost of equipment and the cost of your electricity. But if it does in fact true that McAfee say that it costs $1,000 to create one Bitcoin, then I find it hard to believe that the miner will sell Bitcoin for sub 1,000 levels. Also, it's also assumed that all the miners will be switching from Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, and that the miner will driven by just profit, pure profit. There's some truth to that the miner acting on, you know, whether or not how much profit they get, and that's where they choose to allocate their hash power. That is their business. But we also do know that human is not that logical, and you know, a lot of miners may not switch over to Bitcoin Cash, even though when, you know, Bitcoin is not that profitable and Bitcoin Cash is more profitable at that time, because of philosophical reasons, right? You got to think about that as well. So I just think this is an interesting piece to know, and I do want to share it with you just to at least get you some knowledge of it. You know, certainly I welcome any comment in the section below. You know, whether or not you believe in it, you don't believe in it. To me, if this is true or not true, there not much I can do about it. I am a long time believer of Bitcoin, and I'm gonna hold Bitcoin regardless. And you know, of course, you know, this is highly speculative industry, right? Cryptocurrencies are very highly speculative, and the money that you have on here, you gotta prepare to hold for a long time in most cases, because anything can happen, right? We have seen Bitcoin going from, you know, $10 to $1,000 and then fall down to $300 within a matter of months, right? Follow the Mt. Gox situation. So that's all I have for you in this video. I hope it's give you some information, and if you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I do daily video on the topic of cryptocurrencies. So with that, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.